Samsung versus Oppo, the ultimate showdown. Welcome back, everyone. Today we're diving into a head-to-head comparison between two smartphone giants, Samsung and Oppo. These brands have been absolutely killing it lately, pushing the boundaries of what a smartphone can be, and honestly, it's made it tough to choose between them. So that's exactly what we're going to do. Break down the specs, the features, and the overall experience to help you decide which one comes out on top. Now, both Samsung and Oppo have a pretty diverse lineup, from budget-friendly options all the way up to premium flagships. So, to keep things fair, we're going to be focusing on their top-tier devices, the ones that really showcase what these companies are capable of. Get ready for a close one. All right, let's kick things off with the first impressions: design and build quality. Now, both Samsung and Oppo are no strangers to crafting premium-feeling devices, but they definitely have their own distinct approaches. Samsung, with their Galaxy S line, has kind of perfected this sleek, minimalist aesthetic. The S23 Ultra, for example, is all about smooth curves, a super slim profile, and that iconic camera bump that blends seamlessly into the frame. They've really embraced the less is more philosophy, and it shows. Oppo, on the other hand, has been experimenting a bit more with their designs, especially with their Find X series. The Find X5 Pro, for instance, has this really unique ceramic back panel that curves up on the sides, almost like a waterfall. It's definitely a statement piece, and I've got to hand it to Oppo for trying something different. But it's not just about looks, right? Build quality is just as important. Both Samsung and Oppo use premium materials like aluminum and glass in their constructions, but Samsung takes it a step further with their Armor aluminum frame. It's super durable and can definitely take a beating. Oppo, however, has made some strides in water resistance. The Find X5 Pro boasts an IP68 rating, meaning it can survive being submerged in water up to 1.5 meters deep for 30 minutes. Samsung offers the same IP rating on their flagships, so it's really a tie in that department. Ultimately, when it comes to design, it really boils down to personal preference. Do you prefer Samsung's sleek and understated look, or Oppo's bolder, more adventurous approach? All right, let's talk displays, because this is where things get really interesting. Both Samsung and Oppo pack some of the best displays I've ever seen in a smartphone, but they each have their own strengths. Samsung, being the world's largest display manufacturer, has a clear advantage here. They've been pushing the boundaries of AMOLED technology for years, and it shows in their Galaxy S23 Ultra. We're talking about a massive 6.8-inch dynamic AMOLED 2X display with a buttery smooth 120 Hz refresh rate. It's bright, it's vibrant, and it's got incredible color accuracy. Oppo, however, isn't far behind. The Find X5 Pro boasts a 6.7-inch AMOLED display with a 120 Hz refresh rate as well. And get this, it uses LTPO technology, which means the refresh rate can dynamically adjust based on what you're doing on your phone. That means you get the smooth scrolling and animations when you need them, while also conserving battery life. But Samsung has a secret weapon up its sleeve: HDR10+ certification. This means you're getting an even wider range of colors and contrast, especially when watching HDR content. It's a noticeable difference, especially if you're a movie buff like me. And let's not forget about the resolution. Both phones are rocking Quad HD plus resolutions, which basically means the details are incredibly sharp. Honestly, you'd be hard-pressed to find a pixel with the naked eye. Chapter 3, Performance Powering Through. All right, let's talk about the brains behind these beasts. The performance. Both Samsung and Oppo pack some serious power under the hood, but there are some key differences we need to break down. Samsung's Galaxy S23 Ultra is powered by the Qualcomm Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 processor, which is basically the gold standard for Android flagships right now. It's a beast when it comes to everyday tasks, multitasking, and even gaming. Trust me, you won't see any lag here. Oppo's Find X5 Pro, on the other hand, uses the same Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 chipset. This means both phones are pretty much neck and neck in terms of raw processing power. But here's where things get interesting: RAM and storage. Samsung offers the S23 Ultra with up to 12 gigabytes of RAM, which is insane. That means you can have a ton of apps open in the background without any slowdowns whatsoever. Oppo, however, only offers their Find X5 Pro with up to 12 gigabytes of RAM. So it's a tie in that department. Storage-wise, both phones offer up to 1 terabyte of internal storage, which is more than enough for all your photos, videos, and apps. But Samsung has a slight edge here. They still offer expandable storage via a microSD card slot, while Oppo has ditched that option. If you're someone who needs a ton of storage, that might be a deal breaker. Chapter 4. Camera Showdown, Capturing the Moment. Alright, let's talk cameras, because that's what smartphones are all about these days, right? Both Samsung and Oppo have really stepped up their camera game, but there are some key differences to consider. Samsung's Galaxy S23 Ultra boasts a quad-camera system with a whopping 200-megapixel wide-angle lens. That's right, 200 megapixels. It's the highest resolution camera sensor ever put in a smartphone. And the detail it captures is insane. You can zoom in on images without losing any sharpness. It's pretty impressive. Oppo's Find X5 Pro, on the other hand, features a triple-camera system with a 50-megapixel wide-angle lens co-developed with Hasselblad. Hasselblad, for those who don't know, is a legendary camera company known for their incredible image quality, so that partnership is a big deal. But it's not just about megapixels, right? It's about the overall image quality. And in that department, both phones deliver stunning photos and videos. Samsung's images tend to be a bit more saturated and vibrant, while Oppo's have a more natural, true-to-life look thanks to that Hasselblad color science I mentioned earlier. When it comes to video, both phones can shoot up to 8K resolution, which is pretty standard for flagships these days. But Samsung has a slight edge here with their super steady video stabilization, which is some of the best I've ever seen on a smartphone. Chapter 5, Battery and Charging, Powering Through the Day. Alright, let's talk about everyone's favorite topic, battery life. Nobody wants a phone that dies in the middle of the day, right? So let's see how these two stack up. Samsung's Galaxy S23 Ultra packs a beefy 5,000 mAh battery, which is pretty standard for a phone of its size. With moderate use, you can easily get through a full day on a single charge, even with that power-hungry 120Hz display. Oppo's Find X5 Pro, on the other hand, has a slightly smaller 5,000 mAh battery. However, thanks to that LTPO display technology, which dynamically adjusts the refresh rate, it actually manages to squeeze out a bit more battery life than the Samsung. But here's where Oppo really takes the lead charging speed. The Find X5 Pro supports 80-watt SuperVOOC fast charging, which can juice up your phone from 0 to 100% in about 35 minutes. That is insanely fast. Samsung's Galaxy S23 Ultra, on the other hand, only supports 45-watt fast charging, which is still pretty fast, but not quite as fast as Oppo. Chapter 6, The Verdict, Which Phone Reigns Supreme? So, which one do you think is the better choice for you? It's a tough call, right? Both Samsung and Oppo have delivered exceptional smartphones with their own unique strengths and weaknesses. Ultimately, the best phone for you depends on your individual needs and preferences. If you prioritize display quality, camera resolution, and expandable storage, the Samsung Galaxy S23 Ultra might be the way to go. But if you value a unique design, exceptional charging speeds, and that Hasselblad camera collaboration, the Oppo Find X5 Pro could be the winner for you. Let us know in the comments below which phone you'd choose and why. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more tech comparisons. See you next time.